Dear Journal, spent some time with a wonderful man on the Gulf Coast this month. Right over here, across the road and up this sandy path is where magic lives, and fairies and elves and the man who creates all of those, and who in his own life could use a little magic about now. He is artist Tom Cross, master of wizards, ambassador of whimsy, and leading authority on fairies. He's a scientist by trade, no formal art training. Tom isn't your typical painter.
Basically, I was interested in becoming a doctor. So they said to be a doctor, you've got to take all this really hard stuff so we can flunk you out in case you're stupid. So in the midst of all that, I think I turned to drawing and painting.
He read Lord of the Rings long before it was fashionable, and the spell was cast.
Timely, I guess, here. Now it's so popular. And it kind of struck me like, wow, I'd like to be at that place. So I did some paintings. Never had painted before then, based on the visions I kind of had of what that might be like.
Fast forward past college, Tom parlays his science background into the role of respected ecologist.
So lo and behold, next thing I know, I'm teaching classes on Barrier Island ecology. And it became wildly popular, and I think I taught every day of the week.
And like magic, it hit him.
So I said, geez, I have the science to interpret this into something fun, and I have the excuse to do something visual with this.
His art is a blend of science and sorcery, fact and fable, nature and the supernatural. He's produced hundreds of art prints, books, posters, even CD covers, too many to count. His inspirations are often found within footsteps of his studio.
Maybe a softer paintbrush.
Loved ones are fair game for Tom's foolery. His wife Patty often appears as a mermaid. And daughter Amber was born to be a fairy.
Robe on here.
Even an old friend can become a wizard in Tom's imagination.
There's not a big recipe or menu on the wall. Like, okay, first take picture, second, be really creative, third, make it look good. That's not the way it happens. Hey, you're a natural, Jack.
A natural wizard?
Natural guy in a hat and a robe, anyway.
I see.
I can get an instant sketch, or I can sketch from the photograph and scan that in. And people often ask me, what is my procedure? And I said, I don't know. I don't have a clue.
But what Tom considers a sketch is sometimes snubbed by true art aficionados. Traditional tools like paint and brushes are mostly absent from his studio, instead being replaced with what some would consider a forbidden word, a computer.
I like to say to people, don't get hung up in how I do it. Get hung up on what it creates. If a lawnmower let me get that vision, I'd be, lawnmowing art. So it's a tool, just as when cameras came around, certain artists used, he's cheating.
Cheating? Hardly. An unusual technique for a scholar of ancient folklore? Maybe. But then again, aren't eccentricity and wizardry one and the same?
It's a wonderful, magical mix that makes great sense, particularly with my interest and aptitude for the science of things. And so the computer doesn't scare me as a tool.
Best of all, he says there are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
And if I didn't like what I did, I can turn that off. So again, you're not messing anything up. The paint is never dry. It's never dry. I mean, no reason to be afraid.
He says the world of fantasy brings comfort to us mortals in times of need. Perhaps a reason books like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter have been so popular lately.
Certainly with world situation, the economy, and everything else, people, I think, look for, an alternate reality, I don't know, or a different one, a better one.
And now Tom must face his own alternate reality.
Indeed. A new adventure looms. It's unfortunately lung cancer, and a daunting, obstacle ahead, but have dove into it and researched a lot, and there's a positive direction to go, so we're counting on that.
No sorcerer or crystal ball can prepare anyone for such news, least of all a man who never smoked.
I think 30 to 40% of all cases are non-smokers. Lung cancer claims more lives than prostate, breast, and colon put together, which people don't understand. It's the biggest, most fatal of them.
Well, you went to one doctor who not only didn't write you a prescription, he wrote you off.
Yeah, he practically handed me the nails for the coffin,
No magic spells or potions can remove the curse of cancer, but recently, new doctors have given Tom hope.
The prognosis has continually improved. I can't kid anybody and say that anyone's waved a wand over me and they said, ta-da, X amount of time and you're cured. But there's inspiration to go forward, and that's what we're doing.
And so Tom begins a new journey, one that could possibly show up in his work. Modern medicine can never replace magic wands or fairy dust, but modern medicine is his best chance. Then nature must take its course. Fortunately for Tom Cross, he has home field advantage.